Love and Marriage Huntsville is once again the talk of the town, and this time the conversation isn't just about the drama among the cast, but about the show itself and what feels like a turning point in the franchise. Fans have noticed something very different this season. After only about 8 or 9 episodes, the show is already going on a long break, and it won't return until November. That announcement has left a lot of viewers frustrated, disappointed, and asking questions. Why would a hit reality show pause in the middle of its run when momentum is so important? What is going on behind the scenes that made the network and producers decide to take such a risk? And most importantly, what does this mean for the future of Love and Marriage Huntsville as a whole? These are the questions swirling around the fan base right now, and when you really look closely at everything happening both on screen and off, the picture becomes a lot more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The very first thing to consider is the frustration from fans about consistency. Reality television thrives on momentum. When the drama is hot, when the storylines are unfolding in real time, the last thing viewers want is a huge pause that breaks up the rhythm. Normally, once a season begins, fans expect to stay locked in from week to week until the finale, but this time that rhythm has been interrupted. Some people see this as a scheduling move, but others are convinced it has more to do with the struggles of the show itself. And when you think about the way fans are reacting on social media, you can understand their point. People are saying that the break feels unnecessary, that it takes away the urgency to tune in, and that it could end up doing more harm than good. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, one possibility becomes clear. The break could be production's way of buying time. There are strong hints that the first half of the season wasn't hitting as hard as expected, and rather than let the momentum fade away completely, producers may be trying to stretch things out, re-edit the footage, or even film more material to keep the energy alive when the show returns in November. That makes sense from a business point of view, but it doesn't make fans feel any better, especially those who already believe the quality of the show has slipped compared to earlier seasons. And let's be real, many viewers have been saying openly that Love and Marriage Huntsville is not what it used to be. In the beginning, the show had a balance of everything. We saw couples working together, building businesses, supporting each other, and yes, we got plenty of drama, but it was mixed with inspiration and a sense of growth. Over the years, however, that balance has shifted. What once felt fresh and exciting now often feels repetitive, with some cast members repeating the same toxic storylines over and over again. Fans notice this. They've been pointing it out for seasons now, and the break only makes those problems more obvious. Take Martell Holt as an example. From the very beginning of the series, Martell has been a lightning rod for drama. His affair with Ariane Curry was explosive and became one of the central storylines that changed the show forever. His marriage to Melody Sherry collapsed in front of the cameras, and the fallout from that affair has continued to follow him season after season. The issue now is that Martell doesn't seem to be bringing anything new. Instead of showing growth, moving forward, or reinventing himself, he circles back to the same patterns. Fans are tired of seeing him repeat the same toxic cycles, and the truth is, if Martell doesn't bring something new, his storyline risks becoming completely stale. People don't want to keep watching him string Ariane along for another 5 seasons. And speaking of Ariane, she is another major factor in this conversation even though she isn't officially part of the main cast. Her presence looms large over the show because Martell refuses to let go of her. Fans have been clear that they do not want Ariane on the show. They see her as a symbol of Martell's downfall and as someone who doesn't add value to the group dynamic. Still, her name comes up constantly because Martell keeps her around like a shadow. Rumors that she might join the cast have only fueled the frustration. Some say adding her could create explosive drama, while others insist it would be the final straw that makes them stop watching altogether. The divide among fans about Ariane's potential involvement shows just how polarizing her presence is. Now, contrast that with Melody Sherry. Where Martell has remained stuck, Melody has moved forward with power, grace, and determination. She has built businesses, pursued her music career, raised her children, and established herself as someone who represents growth and resilience. Fans love her because she turned her pain into power. She showed that even after heartbreak, you can rise, rebuild, and shine in new ways. Melody's presence has always been a huge part of the show's appeal, and that's why rumors of her possibly getting a solo show have gained so much traction. People can easily imagine a series focused on Melody's life, her businesses, her kids, and her music. Such a show could even overshadow Huntsville, especially if Huntsville continues to rely on recycled drama. The whispers about Melody potentially leaving the group show to focus on her own journey highlight just how much she means to the franchise. If she does step away permanently, the impact on Huntsville will be massive. Some fans argue that she already has. And if the network cut down the number of episodes this season after she pulled back, that would make a lot of sense. Without Melody at the center, the show doesn't hit the same. Ratings reflect that, and even the energy among the cast seems to have shifted. Let's also take a look at the Scott family, because their role in all of this is worth breaking down. Marceau Scott has become more prominent in recent episodes. His humor, his shady comments, and his ability to carry scenes have made him a central figure. Meanwhile, Letitia Scott has been fading into the background. She hasn't been featured as much, and when she is, fans complain that she doesn't bring much to the table. Some even joke that her daughter has more charisma than she does. There are even theories that production might be punishing Letitia for comments she made outside the show, reminding her that screen time can shrink if she doesn't play along. Whatever the reason, the imbalance between Marceau and Letitia is obvious, and it's creating a strange dynamic. Then there are Maurice and Kimmy Scott. Kimmy's health journey has touched many viewers, and her authenticity has always been appreciated. Fans want to see her doing well, and they remain invested in her story. But when it comes to keeping the energy of the show alive, their presence hasn't been enough to carry episodes. That's not to say they aren't important, but the focus of the season has been leaning heavily on Marceau and Martel while others quietly hold their place. Carlos King's role in all of this cannot be ignored. As the producer and mastermind behind the franchise, fans look to him for answers. But recently, his credibility has taken hits. When he loudly denied in all caps that certain rumors about the show were true, only for the network to confirm those same rumors days later, it made him look either out of the loop or intentionally misleading. That damaged trust among fans, who are now questioning whether they're being played or manipulated. And when trust is lost, it's hard to win it back. The ratings tell another part of the story. In recent weeks, Love and Marriage Huntsville has been hovering in the 200,000 range, far lower than the 400,000 or 500,000 it once pulled regularly. The mid-season finale saw a slight bump of just a few thousand viewers, but nothing close to what would suggest the show is regaining its former strength. Those numbers matter. The network pays close attention to ratings, and the cast feels the pressure. If ratings continue to slip after the November return, the future of the franchise could be in real danger. Fans are divided, and their voices are loud. Some insist that without Melody, the show feels empty and forced. They point to her as the glue that held everything together and say the ratings prove it. Others argue that Martel's drama, for all its repetition, still keeps people talking. But even those viewers admit that bringing Ariane on officially would push them away. Marceau's growing role has its supporters, but Letitia's lack of presence has sparked criticism. Meanwhile, Kimmy and Maurice maintain respect but don't generate the same level of excitement. When you put all of this together, the picture is clear. The break until November is not just about scheduling. It's about buying time, regrouping, and possibly testing whether the show can survive without its number one star. The network may be holding its breath to see how fans react, whether ratings will rise or fall, and whether the cast can keep people hooked. But the risks are high. If fans feel strung along, if the return in November doesn't deliver something new and compelling, it could mark the beginning of the end for Love and Marriage Huntsville. The show began with a vision of Black excellence, of couples building wealth and navigating real challenges. That was what made people fall in love with it. But over time, that vision has been overshadowed by betrayal, bitterness, and recycled drama. The November break is a chance for the producers to reset and recapture what made the show special in the first place. But if they waste that chance, the decline may be impossible to reverse. The question now is, can the franchise adapt? Can Martel reinvent himself, or will he keep clinging to the same tired storyline with Ariane? Can Marceau continue to shine without his wife being equally present? Can Letitia bounce back and bring something meaningful? Can Kimmy and Maurice stay relevant without feeling like background characters? And most importantly, will Melody return, or has she moved on for good? These are the questions that fans are waiting to see answered, and the way the show handles them will decide whether Huntsville survives or fades away. Right now, the future is uncertain, and fans are watching closely. The November return isn't just another batch of episodes. It's a test. It's a turning point. It's the moment where the show will either prove it still has life left or confirm that the best days of love and marriage Huntsville are behind it.